for that map to expand. Okay, once it does, we'll continue. So again, a lot of information here, mainly because of the country names, but try and ignore those. Okay, what we're actually going to pay attention to is the numbers around the edge. Okay, you will see there's a 0 degrees line, which is our equator, and there's a 0 degrees which is labeled prime meridian. Okay, now we're going to be looking at the difference in time. Okay, you will see the numbers go up here in 15s. Okay, the reason they do that is every 15 degrees is equal to a unit of time. If anyone can remember, that should be an hour. Okay, so for every 15 degrees you move, or you travel, you either gain an hour in time or you lose an hour in time. Alright, now again, what you should remember is when we're traveling, if you're the prime meridian, anything west of that, you're going backwards in time. Okay, anything east of that, you're going forwards in time. So for example, we are west, okay, the Bahamas is here, right, on the 75 degree. We're west of the prime meridian. So the prime meridian is at 0. Let's say at England right now it's 6 p.m. If we're west, we have to go backwards. So 15 degrees is 1 hour. So that'll be 5 p.m., 4 p.m., 3 p.m., 2 p.m., 1 p.m. That's where the Bahamas is. So we're said to be 5 hours behind England, okay, because we're west of the prime meridian. If we lived somewhere else on the east side, and it was 6 p.m. in England, let's say we live in Georgia, which is here, okay, so we'll go forward in time, 6 p.m. plus 1, 7, 8, 9 p.m. So let's say right now in Georgia it's 9 p.m. on Friday night, okay. In England, that means it'll be 6 p.m. and then come back to us, head west again. We're further back, we're only at 1 p.m. Okay, so know where places are different times during the day. If you're moving east, you're moving into the future, and west, you're moving backwards. We've also then on the back side of our prime meridian, on the back side of the globe, you've got the international date line. Okay, when you cross that, then you gain a day. But we'll look at that more time in class. I don't want to do that through video. Okay, so let's just look at a simple example here. One thing you have to remember again, if the degrees of longitude are in opposite hemispheres, you're going to add the 2 degrees together. Okay, so for example, at 30 degrees west, it's 12 p.m. That's midday. Okay, what time is it at 90 degrees east? So very simply, don't even, well, the map makes it easier, excuse me, but you can do it like this as well. So you add the two of them, because one is in the western hemisphere, one's in the eastern hemisphere. 30 plus 90 equals 120 degrees. Okay, so now the difference between the two locations is 120 degrees. Now we want to know time though. So what is the difference in hours between the points? Use the answer from step 1, 120, okay, and divide it by 15. Why 15? That is the value of 1 hour. So again, a simple checkpoint here is if this number doesn't divide equally by 15, you've probably gone wrong. So 120 divided by 15 is 8 hours. All right. Now what we need to decide is what direction are we heading? Are we heading east or west? So step 3, which hemisphere? What direction am I going? If I'm headed east, I add. If I'm headed west, I subtract. Okay. Also, you must add AM or PM in your answer. Okay. And this is where you need your understanding of the 24-hour clock. So we are west, we know the time. We want to find out in the east, so you're headed east. East, I add. So 12 p.m. noon plus 8 hours equals 8 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so what I want you to do, I've given 2 simple examples here. I want you to complete the 2 examples below, last little task, using each of the steps. So again, I want it laid out like this. You don't have to write these sentences, but I want these little figures or little sums done. Okay, so at what is the time at 90 degrees west when it is 4 p.m. at 60 degrees east? So you know the time at east, you're headed west. So are you going to add or subtract at that last little point? What time would it be at 105 east when it's 8 a.m. at 75 west? We know it's 8 a.m. at 75 west. That's where we are. So we're headed east to find out that. So pause it now, have a go at those 2 with the full steps, and I'll go through 2 examples. All right, so here we are again. The first one, 60 degrees east, it's 4 p.m. 60 degrees east, 4 p.m. We want to know 90 west. So what time is that at 90 west? So I add the two, they're in different hemispheres, so I add them. 60 and 90, 150 degrees. The next thing I need to divide that answer by 15. Why 15? Because that's the value of 1 hour. So that's going to obviously be 10 hours. Now, which hemisphere, what direction are you going? We are east, we know what time it is, we're headed west. West, I subtract. So it'll be 4 p.m. minus 10 hours. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky. You have to go back through the hours then, okay? And you will have 6 a.m. the morning of the same day. Okay, so that's a tricky one. Again, if you're confused, write out the times on the 24-hour clock and you can go backwards from there. The second one then, okay, we know it's 75 degrees west, it's 8 a.m. We want to know at 105 degrees east what time it is. So again, they're different hemispheres, so we add them. This is going to be a big one, 180. We need to then divide 180 by 15. We get 14 hours. Okay. Now this is tricky. I want to see who can do this. So we know it's 8 a.m. We are west, we're headed east, so we're going to add on our 14 hours. Okay. So we need to try and figure this one out. Now I've actually got a mistake about to come up here, okay, because I've just realized I forgot to change it. But if we add 14 onto 8, okay, if you add 14 and 8 together, you get 22. So if you look on a 24-hour clock, what is 22 o'clock? It is actually 10 p.m. Now I've got 12 a.m. by accident. I knew that was there, I forgot to change it. Your answer should be 10 p.m. Okay, so ignore that, that should be 10 p.m. So if you got those two right, well done. Okay, we leave it there for our Earth-Sun relations, and I'll send out the geography forecast next Monday to let you know what we're doing that week. Alright, so make sure you have all those notes done and dusted, and we'll call it a day.